Good afternoon. My name is Nayaswami Padma, and I'm here to bring you today's noontime inspiration from the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. And I'm reading out of Swami Kriyananda's autobiography, The New Path. Swami Kriyananda conveys this story about Yogananda as he heard it from Yogananda's direct disciple, Dr. Lewis. Master, the doctor reported, asked me to join him in practicing the energization exercises on the hotel porch in San Francisco. The doctor laughed quietly. I nearly died of embarrassment. But what good reason can there be, after all, to feel embarrassed about doing a good thing? My self-consciousness had no worthier basis than the fact that our exercises aren't known to most people. Master decided to cure me of this false notion. As we were exercising, a policeman walked by on his beat. The master, affecting a guilty conscience, stepped hastily behind a pillar, continuing the exercises there. The policeman glanced at us suspiciously. I was praying for a miracle that would dematerialize me on the spot, but the master went right on exercising as though nothing had happened. Minutes later, the policeman returned. Again, the master ducked behind a pillar. This time, the man, his suspicions thoroughly aroused, came over to us. "What's going on here?" he demanded. He probably suspected that we were a pair of criminals planning on a crime. "Oh, nothing, officer," Master assured him with an exaggerated air of innocence. "Nothing at all. We're just exercising, see?" To demonstrate this utter sincerity, he repeated a few movements, then smiled as if in hopeful expectation of a reprieve. "Well," the officer muttered, "see that you don't get into trouble." With massive dignity, he moved on. By this time, I was laughing so hard inside that my embarrassment was completely forgotten. I love this illustration, and I had the opportunity to actually experience something similar myself. I was staying in the Monterey Bay area in a little cottage, and Swami Kriyananda came down to visit with 12 other devotees from Ananda. And my house there was very small. So in the morning, when it was time to energize, he said, let's energize out front, outside. Well, it was a cottage behind a main house, and outside meant that we were in clear view of my landlady's big picture window in her kitchen, dining area. And she spent most of her time in the morning in that area. And so, sure enough, when we went outside, I looked over and there she was, not knowing that I had guests at all. Here, 13 people came marching out of my cottage and then proceeded to do the energization exercises to her viewing of it. And I was just dying on the inside. Actually, at that point, I can't remember if I recall this story then or not. I don't think, no, this book, The New Path, had not yet been published. And so this was news to me, and I just about died on the spot. And what could I do except go ahead and do the energization with my friends, the exercises, and hope and pray that my landlady wasn't going to kick me out for having that many guests and doing whatever crazy thing we were doing in the garden there. It was an interesting experience, and I can only imagine Dr. Lewis with Yogananda many years before, many decades before that, going through this experience in front of a police officer in San Francisco when things were much more conservative in those days. And it was his moment to, what we like to say, get in the spine and become centered and become aware of the fact that if we're doing a good thing, we don't have anything to be embarrassed about or anyone to explain ourselves to. It simply is. And this is an important lesson for us in life. In so many things that we do, we are so affected by our concern for what others might think, our family members, our friends, our co-workers, anyone in our society. It matters not. I love the song that Swami Kriyananda wrote, where he said, go on alone. It doesn't matter if anyone goes with you. If you're doing the right thing and you feel you're doing the right thing by your own beliefs and thoughts, do it. And don't worry about what others think. In fact, with that attitude, invariably people end up respecting us more and not less. So joy to you, and we'll see you again. Many blessings. Bye-bye.